episode 7 this time.
Siete.
Joined by the man with 50,000 nicknames, the legend Danny Maff, the all-father Darius Carter.
The 7.
I am Shawn Donavan. Episode 7. The topic of today we all settled on was etiquette in the industry. And I know there's lots of different rabbit holes we can go down when it comes to etiquette, the unwritten rules in the industry, but we'll start with you this time, Danny. Etiquette. I mean, broad, go down a rabbit hole, wherever you want to start with this. We can go on a lot of different topics, and I think we can touch on a lot of different things today, but etiquette in the industry.
Choose the speed limit.
Yeah.
Man. Etiquette. Wow. Okay. Well, hey, listen.
Oh, before we do that, we have to thank Front Row Mafia for the Buffalo Trace. We didn't get a chance to finish it, so we have to do them justice and tap this bottle off today. Thank you, Front Row Mafia.
Cheers.
Your
Front
support
Row.
to independent wrestling
Yes.
is appreciated.
Yes.
Etiquette, Maff. Start us off.
Etiquette. All right, listen. Whew. First of all, I believe the etiquette has to start with how you carry yourself and the respect that you bring with you, that energy that you bring with you. I've always been a firm believer of the saying that you start when you're packing your bag at home. Okay, you fold your clothes, you wash your gear.
Can you say that one more time?
You fold your clothes, you wash your gear, and your ass.
Not particularly in that order either. Don't go washing in that order now.
Go. Some of y'all brothers, I just need to remind you, you gotta wash your ass too. Okay? But listen, you know what I mean?
But it's true, though.
Hey,
it's true.
listen.
We've all been there with people in a locker room, man. We've all been
Look. I don't like to stink. I'm a big dude, man.
Yep.
300 pounds, bro. I do not like to stink.
I think you're like known as the best smelling human being on earth. It's just the way that it is.
It's like literally working with a fucking bottle of fucking Calvin Klein.
But it's lather prepared. I mean, listen, he takes the time to do what he needs to do.
That's it.
You know, go ahead, man. If there was a poll that was put out, and they said, who's the best smelling? I was gonna win. It is what it is. Yep. So have some pride in yourself, man.
Hey,
you know
it's good to be known for something positive.
Oh, stop it. Oh, please.
Come
Listen,
on,
man.
No, but listen,
right,
etiquette, man. Like, for real. Like, how you present yourself, man. How you walk into a locker room. Okay? Listen, I appreciate working with a guy who walks into a locker room, you know, and he smells fresh.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard, man, to like, you know,
You don't want to smell like a used car.
I don't want to work anybody that smells like they have, you know, 2 hoagie subs underneath their armpits. You know what I mean? And it smells like a hamper.
Yeah.
You know, and when they open their bag, like flies and gnats come out of it.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Where you literally gotta like walk away. Or the best is the guys that open their bag and start spraying fucking Febreze on their gear. Motherfucker, you're here.
Right, you just got here, so
Now you fucking decide.
So funk builds up.
Bro, when was the last time you went in your
put it
bag? Oh, I wrestled last week. I put my gear in. I haven't fucking opened it since.
You don't let it breathe? Oh my goodness.
So I think the boys know me well enough. Like,
Yeah,
I won't work with you.
Yeah, that's Parliament Funkadelic.
I
When
won't.
you
I
smell
won't work
them,
with you. I
not
won't
just
work with
knee deep in that funk.
I'm going
No.
home.
Well, it's funny.
I'm going home.
You know what I mean?
So you talk about like when you open up your gear bag, right? While you're kind of on that same topic too, right? We talk about etiquette for wrestlers, young, even old. Please stop with the carny bullshit of I forgot my wrist tape. I forgot to buy some. Right? You know who the guys are in the locker room that are taking care of their stuff. Because as soon as they open up their bag, there's a fucking line like they're out for the soup kitchen. Hey, brother, can I borrow some tape? I forgot mine. And it's the same guy all the time.
Every time.
Guys, etiquette. Come prepared, please. Like,
treat this seriously.
Yeah.
Take this seriously.
Yeah.
Do you want this
know,
or do you not want this?
I hate
Yeah.
that shit, man.
It's wrist tape.
And then you say no to somebody, and they look surprised.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They look in your bag. They look at my bag. They see I had 4 to 5 rolls of tape.
Yeah,
too.
unbelievable.
Yep.
Yeah, every time.
Okay,
Every time.
hey man,
'Cause I'm preparing myself for
you
the
think
next
I could
number
borrow
of
some
shows.
tape?
Of course.
No, I didn't bring any for you.
I've seen him.
Are you
do it.
gonna give it? Are you gonna give it back?
Yeah.
I remember.
No. So what are you borrowing? You know, I get my rolls 30 and 40 at a piece. I go on Amazon, I get the box of 30 or
Same
40.
with me. Yep.
There you go.
It's nice and soft, it's quality, it gets there in a day and a half.
But you want to tell them again where you got it? Because people don't seem to know.
Amazon.
People don't seem to know
Amazon or Amazon Prime.
We're
Or
educators.
click on athletic tape white,
We are teachers.
athletic tape black.
It's out
you get
there.
whatever one you want. They come in 30s and 40 packs.
Tell them.
Or you
colors.
can go to the dollar store and they got wrist tape there too.
Go to Walmart and buy yourselves a pair of fucking scissors and stop asking me to use mine.
Dick's Sporting Goods, guys. This is a great place for wrist tape.
It's all about etiquette,
All right,
guys.
athletic socks, athletic knee pads,
Yes.
elbow pads. Please know if you live in a town somewhere, if you're living in your car, wherever it is. Look up places near you. There are places near you that have these items. You will find, they want to find you. These places are looking for customers. So please go to these places. Dick's Sporting Goods loves to have customers, I assure you. They have people standing at the door ready to greet you. Is there anything you need? No, because I know exactly where I'm going. I'm going to the same places.
Bro, you know
every
what's good for
time.
this, bro?
I'm going to get my tape.
You know what's good for that shit? And I know, we're not supposed to talk
No.
He's gonna mention names.
Motherfuckers know who I'm talking about. You fucking Maximo Brothers.
Oh no, he did it!
Okay.
He couldn't.
Every fucking show. Mafia.
Couldn't hold it. I thought he was
Mafia.
gonna hold it for a second. I
Mafia.
thought he almost had it.
Mafia. Can I borrow some tape? What, are you gonna give it back?
Yeah, I thought he was gonna hold it.
Mafia, come on, I freaking love you, man.
But they're good guys.
They are,
they're
man. But man, these motherfuckers, you owe me like a whole box.
Everybody has a little bit or a lot of their love for the Maximals.
Hey, Mafia,
Anybody
come
is
on.
anybody. You
Mafia,
have
come
to.
on, man, please. Remember that
Good
time,
folks.
Mafia? And they always call me Mafia.
Hey, respect,
I'm like,
homage.
it's fucking
It'll get the
guys,
wrist
bro.
tape easier.
But they always make me pop, too. Because they know how to get me.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers
right?
never bought tape.
And look, I get it, right? We've said this to ourselves, other people, right? Yes, the indies, they don't pay a lot, right? It's about the experience, about the come up. If you're lucky enough to make some good money, that's fantastic. I know
Like
there's
Carter.
Yeah, well, yeah. But we all know, yeah, man, can't be on the same card with him. Because then I got to take less, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he's like, Moff, we can't book you. We can't afford it. We can't afford you both of you. It's one or the other. What the fuck?
Is that why I don't know?
But the reason why I'm saying is, right, especially young workers, right, you're going to spend a lot more in the early days on a lot of different things, right? So you have to save for what you're getting yourself into, because what you're really doing is investing in yourself. Again, I talk about etiquette, big things. If you are going to get in a carload with people and you're driving wherever it is, whether it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 hours, it doesn't matter. The person who is driving, number one, please make sure that if you're going to get in the car with them, you also have a driver's license.
Wow.
Because it is not fair for the rest of the group on long drives if you all can't contribute to help driving if your brother gets tired, right?
Yeah.
We all know the story. The person who rides shotgun, do not fall asleep.
That's right, you gotta stay the fuck awake.
Right?
Tough.
And the other part, too, is when you get in
see
that
that turn?
car,
I'm the best
if you're,
co-pilot ever.
He turned. That's what it turned.
if you're the driver, right? If you're the driver, the way to save time on people who ain't going to pony up, make sure you figure out what that total trans round trip is going to be,
Get that money.
divided by the number of people in that car. They do not get in that car and buckle that seatbelt until they pony up what they owe. I've seen and been involved
paid.
too many times where you get to the destination. Hey, brother, can I get you next time?
Hey, brother.
Next thing you know, what are you? This is a bar tab?
No,
You're
right.
just, you know what I'm saying? So,
gotta get the
again,
credit card back.
etiquette, right? Be a good brother and take care of the people, right?
Piggybacking on what you're saying, there's another rule of thumb that I have. Okay. We're riding together. You're driving. Okay. If you are taking the drive, you are picking me up or whatever, man. You're willing to drive. Okay. You shouldn't pay for gas. And you shouldn't pay for what, if we're gonna eat, if I'm gonna eat, we're both gonna eat. You shouldn't pay to eat, and you shouldn't pay for gas.
Yeah. And that's 50-50, right? Depending on who it is. Like, that's something
my
you and
rule
I
of thumb.
have. Yes.
That's my rule of thumb all the time. We'll go, I got the gas. What are you eating? I got it.
You're contributing.
Yep.
You must contribute. Here it is.
And if there's
Gas,
3 or 4 of you in a
money,
car,
drinks.
You all
Listen,
contribute to that person's gas and their
he all
food.
pays for his gas, and we all pay for his food.
Yep. You can go with that route, or you can split it evenly. Whatever it is, make
It's all about having respect for that guy that's driving, man.
Exactly, right? Because it could be a guy driving booked on the show or a guy who's not booked willing to take you and go on that journey with you.
But if I'm riding with you, if I'm driving, what do you think? I'm just gonna drive you around?
I'm not your chauffeur.
Yo, at
Exactly,
least, you know, at least drop a fucking $20 bill in my back seat.
Do something.
Well, you don't have to tell me. You
Right.
just dropped it and you
Right.
text me and say, hey, check your back seat.
Right. Old school.
You know
Do
what I mean?
something.
Yeah. Or if your moppy just leaves the dip bottle in your back seat
That's tough.
and you find it a month later when you're cleaning out your car.
with a note. Oops.
Well, listen.
Look.
But look.
Talk about
Okay.
it.
So what have we learned here today?
So far.
Okay, pack your bag. Put some, you know, don't be afraid to put, you know, it's only $1. Get a sheet of fabric softener. Put it in your bag. Trust me, brothers, it goes a long way. Sisters too. You know what I mean? Like, yo, it goes a long way. Okay? Guys, wash your gear
Yeah, please.
and wash your asses too. The driver does not pay for gas and does not pay for his meals. Hook a brother up, okay? Because he's doing the driving.
Yeah, contribute.
Okay, you walk into a locker room, say hello to everyone.
Right.
Shake everyone's hand. Put your bag down, okay, and make it your business to say hello to everyone.
Yeah, always.
And then
Always
after
that.
you say hello to everyone, you say hello to everyone. And if you don't like to say goodbye at the end of the day, and when you finish and you're going home, say goodbye to everybody. All right, guys.
Right.
Have a good night. Thank you for having me.
Wiedersehen.
I'll see you guys later. Everybody drive safe.
And-
Okay.
Right now.
Right. And, you know what I mean? Dress accordingly.
Yeah, please. Fit the role.
Okay, there's a couple of
Fit
guys.
the role. Dress how you should dress. Not everybody needs to wear a
Jordan Oliver.
suit. You're not
Jordan
all
Oliver, I'll give him credit. Okay.
Love Jordan.
The kid dresses up professionally. He acts professional. He shows up and he's treated as such. He's treated like a professional. Casey Navarro. Okay. He's a headache. Yes, he runs around 99 miles an hour, and his blood pressure is through the roof, 340 over 800.
Always works well with me.
I love him, man.
Because you got to put the doggone nail on him.
But you know what? That little son of a bitch, like, he dresses the part. He looks professional. He dresses like a professional.
Right.
Okay. Darius Carter
Oh.
always dresses the part. He'll never be on time.
Depending on what
but
your
he will dress
concept of on time is. It depends on what your concept of on time is, and this is me looking to you, to the people that know what I'm talking about.
Hey, Darius, you see my match? No, I just walked in.
Brother,
I was on 20 minutes ago.
Listen, I'm just
right
busted.
there.
I'm busted.
And you wouldn't know.
I'm busted.
And you wouldn't know on
Darius
the other side.
has never been on a show that I've been on where he's gotten there late after the first match starts.
An hour before call time.
He's just
an hour before bell.
well, how do you like to say it? He's
Fashionably late.
yes, he's fashionably just on time.
Just on time.
Yes.
But,
Fashionable arrival.
Dress the part, say hello to everybody, look professional, act professional. You know what I mean? You don't have to dress like $1 million, but at least, you know what I mean?
Plan and
Don't show up just like a dirtbag.
Right. And again, you're talking about saying hello and goodbye to people. If you're leaving at the end of the night and the show has its own crew for setup and breakdown, take the extra minute. Go thank the people that helped set up the ring, who helped break down the ring, the people who did the photography, the people who did the camera work, if there is, the people who did the music. Thank everybody that helped make that show, because it goes a long way with individuals that do that, because I bet most times those crews never get thanked. Mm-hmm. Always take the time. Yes, be on time. If you're going to travel, and Maff knows this, my girlfriend hates this because I am a time freak. If she says we have to be here at a certain time, like a match, I'm planning backwards. Okay, we got to leave at this time, which means I got to take a shower at this point. I got to pack my suitcase here. It's the same thing with a show. You're working a show 10 hours away, plan how long it's going to take. Account for traffic possibilities. What time do you have to make sure you get there? Okay, if you're picking people up, I need to be here by this point and be there by that point. That is etiquette. That is professionalism. That goes a long way to getting at the show on time or before. I like to use the piece of in my real work. If you're on time, you're late. Mm-hmm. If you're on time for a show, to me, you're late. Right? You know how I am with certain shows. We're doing a group meeting and people just stroll in. Are you kidding me?
This fucking guy's worse than Tom Coughlin.
I'm worse than Bill Watts. Fuck that.
He sets all his fucking clocks 15 minutes fast.
All right, listen.
What time is it? What time is it?
40, 50 actually.
Okay, I bet you on his watch, it's fucking 35.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. I set 3 alarms every morning, make sure I get up. To me, time is always of the essence, right? Yeah. And you don't have a minute to waste, right? You only get 24 hours in a day. Make it worth your while. For shows, matches, all that type of stuff, right? Be prepared. That's part of etiquette. Getting there early, like, again, last Friday, I got there early. What did I do? Helped out with the ring crew. I don't give a shit.
Right.
Because the faster that ring gets set up, the faster the talent has the ability to go over what they're going to do for the night, which translates to the fans getting the ultimate value for the price they paid to get in.
Yeah. You know what?
It all comes down to that.
You say that though, but it is also about staying. You know, because there are a lot of people that have their match and then just leave.
Oh, I'm sick of that shit.
Now,
you never leave unless you have another booking.
Unless I have another booking,
you never leave.
I do not leave. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying everybody has to stay to the end, go out to dinner or whatever afterwards you do. I'm not saying everyone has to do that, even though that's the old school way. You go out with the event that you just put on. Mm-hmm. You talk about it. You say, how do we improve the next one? It's a collaborative effort, guys. Mm-hmm. We are all contributing to something more. Yes, I'm Darius Carter, but I'm Darius Carter on your Warriors of Wrestling show. I'm Darius Carter on your Ashe Wrestling show. I'm Darius Carter. We are all putting a show together. Mm-hmm. We should talk about it. We should converse about it. You and I talk about Warriors. We should talk about places that we're at, because we all want to what? Collectively improve it, right? Okay, maybe I'm going to cut down on this to give more time to that. Maybe next time I'm going to think about this so we can get more of that on this return. This is what we should be doing. Some guys, listen, I understand if you have another show. Obviously, if you have another show, you got to go. But having your match and leaving, Okay. Unless there are life events, okay, and I'm speaking generally here because things happen, things come up, things arise. Oh, look at my cell phone. Oh, something, I gotta go. But generally speaking, the mindset should be to stay, to watch the rest of the show. If you're not the main event, watch the main event and see why. Maybe you're not the main event, or learn from that main event. This is what your match contributed to that main event. That's a little secret. Maybe the bulb didn't go off, but your match contributed to that main event. Maybe
I've said to you before, I said, Darius, I had 12. We went 8. You're the man. You're closing.
I'm like, great.
Thanks, Maff.
Yeah, and we have that discussion. Magic. We've had that at multiple Ace, different promotions. But this is the point that I'm talking about: is we're contributing to each other. In multiple different ways. Maybe I'll take this today because it's good for this guy, right? Talking about Vargas, right? Ace. These are things we do to say let's get us all out of here easier, and the reaction's going to be the same, right? For the crowd, they're all gonna. But let's take care of each other.
Right.
That's what we need to remember, that we are all a piece. Maybe some pieces are a little bit bigger than other pieces. That's just the nature of the game. But it's still a puzzle, and we all are fitting into that. So please don't rush after your match to leave.
Right.
To go to your car. To go home. Right. What is so important? What is so blasted important that you can't stay with your peers, that you may see those particular set of peers maybe once a month? Because, again, that's a different locker room, right? So how often are you seeing those people? Do you need to leave that quickly?
Watch that main event, man.
Get advice. Yeah, get advice on your match. At the very least, get feedback on your own match. Ask somebody. Maybe someone's going to ask you to watch their match, which is an honor and a blessing. Go and watch their match. Where else do you need to be within that space of time that is more important than the world of professional wrestling? Please.
Because when you're there, you're doing a job.
Please.
Again,
I'm on the clock.
Right. This is
part of the rate.
Again, we talk about etiquette.
It's part of the rate, Maff.
We talk about etiquette, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but it's in my mind, right?
Fun.
This is a business at the end of the day. This is not wrestling friends. This is the wrestling business. You get to be with your peers, but this is a business. You are here to make money. You are here to do business so that you can come back next time and do business. When you do that and you contribute the right way, trust me, if you think nobody's watching, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
Somebody is watching, whether it is a high person on the card, a promoter, somebody that works, someone is always watching your actions, right?
More important, dude.
Yep.
If I know that my circle is watching, if I know that Darius goes out of his way to say, Maff, I want to watch your man. To me, that's pressure. But you know something? That's where I thrive. Give me all the pressure. I want that smoke. Give me the pressure. Because now here
on your game,
in this little space that I have up here in between my ears, I'm held accountable. When I walk through that curtain and I look at him, if he tells me I shit the bed, I don't want that. I'm terrified of that. So I am me.
Yeah.
Me. Pushing me.
Same thing with me.
So
my circle, right?
Let this motherfucking man down.
Yep.
I cannot let you down. I cannot let Juicy down. I cannot let Franny down. I cannot let Kevin down. If I know Pat Buck is watching, God damn it, those are the most incredible performances of my goddamn career. Every time I walk through that Northeast Wrestling curtain, I knew that Mike Lombardi was right behind that fucking curtain.
Right. What did you say to me a couple of weeks ago in New York? Hey, this is the first time you've been back in New York in a while. It's a different crowd. Go get it.
Yeah. Yes,
and you said that to me, and I was already at that level, ready to go through the curtain.
I felt like I needed to say that to you, though.
No, and I was ready to go, but that gave me the extra stamp of saying, okay,
extra
my
spice.
big brother's watching.
Yeah.
you cannot take the foot off. Not that I would, but
Yes,
that
but
gives you
it's
that ever
And
that
I did. I
extra
told him, I
level.
said, it's been a while. I said,
Right.
I said, I did. I forgot about that.
And I
said, it's
you're
been a-
holding, because what you do is when you're with your peers, the people
You
you
got to check your
circle,
people. You got to check them.
always make sure you're ready to give your people that stamp of approval. But no, hey, we all do this together,
Yep.
right? And what comes with that too, and again, we talk about what goes on.
I walked him right to the curtain.
Yep.
I said, I'm going to be right here watching.
Yep.
I walked him right to that curtain. So
But
go
the
get
other
him.
and the other part of that too, we talk about, right, why guys shouldn't leave early and learning, right? A part of that etiquette is, and I see this because, and I'll be very straightforward when I say this, very few locker rooms are policed by the people in charge in terms of giving you your, if you want to call them marching orders, right? A lot of times it's, hey, you have 8 to 10, whatever. If you leave the inmates to run the asylum, it's chaos. And what I mean by that,
Monkeys.
every match is the same.
Yep.
Every psychology is the same. There's 50,000 super kicks. There's 50,000 of this.
Hot
no
starts.
cell spots.
That match that you
No
had,
lockup.
Mike Law looked over to me. Mike Law, where I was sitting right behind the music guy. I'm looking at the monitors. Mike Law was peeking live. Okay. And he's got the fucking headset on. He's got the paper. He's got the pencil. You know where he's at. Boom, boom, boom. He's Mike Law, bro. Please don't sleep on him. He's no dummy.
No, do not sleep on Mike Law.
Mike Law
is an
looks at me.
accomplished veteran of the game.
Mike Law turned
Toast
and
to
looked
Mike
at
Law.
me.
Cheers to Mike Law.
Yes.
Mike Law. Love that,
Real
bro.
one.
Nothing but
Real one
respect.
for you, Mike. You deserve that, man. Seriously.
Mike turned to me, and Mike said, bro, Shawn is really doing a good job with this guy. I said, what'd you expect? I said, you see that motherfucker right there? I said, I can't lace his fucking boots.
That's a compliment.
He said, what? I said, Shawn Donavan? I can't lace his fucking boots. He's on another fucking level. He went. But that's, you know what I mean? If you was out there, I would say the same fucking thing.
Right.
Okay? Because it's the
That's
camaraderie,
the type of man you are.
but
That's
it's
the
the
type of man you are,
respect.
man. It's the love and the
Yo, it's fucking respect, bro.
And that's what I mean about,
you know what I mean?
when you have
gotta respect your
yes.
fucking peers,
Yes,
man.
but you also have to respect your locker
real
room.
ones.
Right.
Yes.
But you have to respect your locker room too, right? And what I mean by that is, right?
Yep. Know your locker room, respect your locker room.
We've all been in a million locker rooms, and we can all say there's only a handful of locker rooms that, with people who know how to run shows, that will police their locker rooms and say, this is what I need from you tonight. Do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do that, right? If it's not policed, be respectful. Talk to the matches before and after you. Hey, don't repeat finishes. Don't repeat this. If you're doing this, don't do this. Hey, the main event, this performer does this. Please do not do that. No, I'll use the example. If Tito Santana's in your main event and somebody else is doing a flying forearm,
Oh my goodness.
come on, man.
Right.
Really? Right? That's what I
Right.
mean, right? Respect each other, right? Okay. If I do a DDT and he does a DDT,
man.
he's the main event. I'm not gonna ask.
Right.
I'll find something else.
Right.
Right? Don't be that dummy. That's etiquette and respecting the locker room, right? I understand. If you're that performer that came from 11 hours away, I understand if you have to leave. You have an 11-hour drive.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Right? You got a
Totally
2-hour drive? Man, fuck that.
And that was not,
Okay?
of course, what I was talking about.
No,
so.
but my point is,
Yeah.
right, respect your peers, respect your locker room. Show up in a respectful manner. Say hello to everybody. I hate hearing where the promoter will tell you what they need you to do and you say okay. And then you hear them from across the room. I can't believe I only have this amount of time. I can't believe I can't do this. Like, how am I supposed to get my shit in? How am I supposed to get over?
Right.
Come on, man. Really?
You don't know
when
why
I
you're
hear
there?
that, I'm like, this guy does not belong in the locker room. If you're complaining about petty shit like that, we've all heard it.
Oh my goodness.
We've all been there, right? And I get it. Some guys are young, and let's just face it, some guys are just fucking stupid.
Hey.
Right? There's common sense and there's etiquette. There's common sense you can apply in this industry that applies in real life.
But in all honesty, and then there's guys that are a breath of fresh air.
100%.
Yeah,
Yes. And I
listen,
love being in those locker rooms.
Yeah.
Listen, and let me tell you something. There are so many of them. I know I have a reputation to uphold, and I have to be an asshole, but I gotta give credit where credit's due. Jared Diaz is such
That's a good one.
fucking joy.
That's a good one.
To work with such a talent.
As Nano say.
And when he says to me, he says, Maff, he says, I did less in that match, but I learned so much.
Listen, man.
You know, that kid.
That's why I liked working Marcus Mathers.
Oh my God, that guy, bro.
Yeah.
I'm so happy he got ID'd. You know what I mean?
Imagine how I feel. Like,
You'll be ID'd soon.
oh,
But you know what I'm saying? It's listen, I hope, brother.
hey, listen.
I hope.
Ah, man, that's so kind of you. It's
but-
just I don't take any of this.
It's well
for granted.
deserved. It's
I don't take
overdue
any
and
of
it's
this
well
for granted,
deserved.
man.
I agree.
People don't understand.
Both you,
1000%.
both
Thank
you
you,
salty bastards need to be ID'd.
The truest
Already.
sodium.
Yeah.
The truest sodium content.
What would the idea when you get put in the old folks' home?
Ah!
It's gonna be a while. 'Cause I'm going in with a fight, goddamn it. I ain't ready to go yet.
While
We'll
we're
be
on
locking up in our wheelchairs.
But there's another guy. There's another guy that I feel like doesn't get the recognition that he deserves, and only because I've seen him grow up, and I've seen him grow up.
Yes, mature.
He's fucking grown up,
Mature.
goddammit. And he's
Develop.
he's developing,
Blossom.
and he's turning into a leader slowly, and I see it. I'm not talking about Jared. Jared is such a breath of fresh air to work. He's a pleasure to work. He's gonna make a lot of money in this business. He's gonna be a future star, and his trajectory upward is to the moon and past.
Stay the
and
path.
beyond. Okay.
Stay the
There's
path.
another
Keep your nose
guy
clean.
who I'm very proud of, and he's coming up slowly. Is Wolfie. Wolfie is showing me something. Okay, and you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
But Wolfie has shown me
Keep your mind right.
he's a leader.
Keep your mind right.
He's a leader, man, and he got that shit that you can't teach. You can't bottle it. You can't teach it. You can't buy it off a shelf. He's a leader. Okay, and he's the type of guy that will do what's right for the greater good.
And we're talking about the good things, guys, because you have to. This is a conversation about balance. Right. Let's not have boo-boo faces either in that locker room.
And I like, and I like the guy with Wolfie, the one who I call Sexual Chocolate.
Tyree.
I love Tyree.
Tyree Taylor.
I love
Tyree Taylor. That's
But Tyree and Wolfie,
big boy from Brooklyn.
Wolfie's a leader.
Yeah.
Wolfie's a leader. Tyree, okay, he's that type of talented person that he's super, stupid strong.
Yeah.
And he don't even know
He don't
his
know
strength.
how strong he is. Yeah.
Like O'Shea Edwards.
Yeah, O'Shea's another man.
Them brothers, they don't know
understand.
their strength, but O'Shea
does not understand his strength by any means.
O'Shea, and let me tell you, and O'Shea's a sweetheart. He's the nicest person. I'm sorry if I'm blowing up your spot, O'Shea, but like, you know what I mean, I've had the pleasure of working with you, man. It's been a pleasure. It was a pleasure. And I know we're gonna have a lot of bangers, you know.
I'm not blowing it up. I love him.
No,
I
I
love
we haven't
his-
gotten together in the ring yet, but we will.
I
one
love
day.
his
That's a
his
bad
Red Hulk
motherfucker.
esque
No, we will
strength.
one day. We've talked about it. We've talked
That's
about
a
it.
bad motherfucker, you know what I mean? And but like it's guys like that, man, that like God damn it, like let's get these motherfuckers on the road, man.
Yeah.
They belong on TV.
Yeah,
They
I agree.
belong on TV. Listen, man,
But you
my
wanna-
boat has sailed.
Yeah.
These boys belong.
No,
on
it
TV.
has not.
None of our books.
No, it has
we,
not.
We have a lot more left. to
I'm in
give this
agent
industry,
mode.
man.
I'm in agent mode.
Me too.
Hello.
We're in giving
Somebody-
back
Yeah.
mode. We're in giving back mode,
Yes.
but we are still giving to ourselves. We
Right.
can still water our grass and
Yep.
allow new organisms to grow within the grass that we have watered.
When you
I'm
talk, yeah.
listen.
and when you talk about breath of fresh air, right? Again, same thing I think of being in locker rooms of good people. I say this to young talent. If you are working someone that you have enough time, find their work, study it, and then when you get to the building, come to the table with ideas. Ooh. The biggest thing I cannot stand from people, they just walk up to you, what do you want to do? I'll say, what do you got?
That's a trick question.
I don't know.
Whenever I take that as a trick question at this point, I'm like, if you don't know what I...
Or the other one, or they come up to you with, oh, I've got so many ideas. I've got a bunch of ideas.
Zippity do that.
And none of them involve you.
None of them. No.
They all involve them getting over.
Right. No. Right. I need you to be in this position for that. Okay.
But it just so happens that how does Maff operate?
Tell them.
What ideas do you have for them? And that's what you and I do. I can tell people flat out, honestly, we've talked about this, right? He and I, when we have a tag match together, we're talking about ideas on how to make our opponents better.
Oh, my goodness.
How do we make them look like $1 million?
I'm so glad we're talking about this right now. I'm so glad we're talking about this right now.
I know what we bring to the table.
Right. Oh, come on.
And I'm confident in that man.
Oh, come on.
And what did we do? Last week, we worked 2 kids, and I don't mean this in a negative way, right?
Talk it.
We outweighed them by literally double the size, double the weight. So how do we make them in front of that crowd look legitimate?
Believable.
He asked one kid, what can you do? And Maff always says, if you can do a clothesline, a body slam, and a lockup, I'll make it work.
And a crossbody.
And a crossbody. Right.
See, for me, can you do a 10 punch?
I said, if you could do those 3 or 4 things, we're gonna steal the show, baby. That's all we need, right? I said, that's all we need.
That's it. That's it.
And he looked at me like, I said, that's all we need.
Right. Don't worry about it.
He said, what are you talking about? He says, wait. Let me get dressed.
Right.
I'm gonna show you.
Don't worry about it. Right. I'll walk you down the road.
I look at etiquette too, right? Tag team performance. I know a lot of times it's always singles, and we said this before we went on the air, right? There's not a whole lot of really, and I mean this with all respect, there's not a lot of really, really good tag teams out there that really focus on the art of tag team wrestling. We talk about it all the time because we both started in tag teams. We have a special love for tag team wrestling. When you have 4 guys and a very competent referee, magic can happen. But you may not always have the 2 great performers on the other side. So it takes the more experienced team to say, what can we do to make them look good? Etiquette. It's right. Come to the table with ideas for each other, saying, hey, I know you do this and I do this. What if we put this here? When you get to the table, you don't have to stress. We've all seen it. We've watched guys who come to the locker room, they're working each other, they're talking to each other for an hour. They haven't even gotten past the first point.
Oh, my goodness.
Come on,
you
guys.
You get to the venue before me. You get to the venue, listen, and we're laughing and we're talking about when we arrive and things of that nature. When I get to the venue, I've seen you've been calling your match. All right, I can already tell how long you've been calling it, because I can tell. You guys have been so all right. You guys have been talking about this match for at least 30 to 45 minutes. I got there already. I'll have gotten there. I'll have changed out of my suit. I'll have gotten into my gear. I'll have met everyone and said hello to everybody in the locker room, maybe twice, right? The match has been discussed. We're done. I look in the corner, and you are still calling that same match that you were calling 30 to 45 minutes before I got there. What that means is that there is so much uncertainty, there are so many pieces, and nobody knows how to catch them and put them back together. And I'm not saying, listen, I understand longer matches, you got to do this. Okay, guys, who is your opponent? Are you studying your opponent? Do you the night before, maybe the night before, do you pull up a few of their matches, 2, 3 matches before you go to sleep and say, let me see who my opponent is? Or if it's somebody that's familiar, maybe you watch something more recent. Do you love this? That's part of the etiquette of the business to me, because, okay, you could just go in blind with somebody, but I've never met you. I don't know you. Let me see how you move. Let me watch your footwork.
Yeah.
How's this guy hit the ropes? Or this woman? How do they hit the ropes? How do you climb the top? How do you lock up? How do you fall?
What's
Are you
your
protecting
style
yourself?
that you work?
And then how can I be
Accentuate
malleable?
it. Yes.
How can I be malleable so that because I'll tell you one thing right now. I'll say this straight up. The amount of giving I want to give to you.
Mm-hmm.
I want something to come from you. I want something to be summoned from you, because one thing I always want from my opponents, and I feel like every wrestler should want this, I want my opponent to say at the end of that match, and once that match is done, wow. I have not had that before.
Mm-hmm.
I have not done that.
I want to give you my body, but take care of it on every single level.
Yes.
Don't make me take a bump that means nothing because you have no energy behind you. Because at my old ass age in the industry, I don't know how many bumps I got left. I want to make them meaningful to help you. Right? I'm realistic. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean. And you said this, right? If you're calling your match for an hour and you're both still confused, imagine what that crowd is going to feel out there, right? If you have, and I'm being realistic, right? If you are treating this as an art, if you have to plan your chain wrestling, please do me a favor. Pack your bag and leave. That means you have not learned the right way. You may not have been taught the right way. You need to find a new school to train at, right?
Find a new circle of
what
people.
What you're doing is
Leave
the etiquette is how do you make your match different from the last and the one in front of you to contribute to building the card to the main event to give the fans what they need in order to build and not only get the match over, both performers are over or both teams are over at the end of that in a win or a loss, and you're moving on to the next. Yep. That is what our industry is about. It's collaborative effort. It's not one-sided. It is not... And I'm on this rant. I don't.
No, you're on. You're
I am
hitting.
so sick of hearing guys put matches together when I know all they're doing is trying to get their shit in for a shitty fucking, and I say fucking, 2-minute highlight reel that you put out every 3 fucking months of the same goddamn move against different people.
Yeah, better stay at the end of the show. Better stay till the end of the show then. Better make sure they
put the match together for the audience, not for your bullshit highlight reel.
Right.
I can watch anybody do a fucking Canadian Destroyer. This motherfucker's 300 pounds. He can take a fucking Canadian Destroyer. Show me character. Show me personality. Show me something different. Show me something I can get invested in. Everybody can do a cutter. Everybody can do a Canadian Destroyer. But can you lock up?
Right.
Can you lock up and make it look real? Can you take a shoulder tackle?
Can you sell enough?
Yes.
Right.
Can you
sell enough to piss them people off, to make them reach out to you?
If there
Dusty
are
Rhodes
to help you,
reaches out for the fans. Make me believe why you should be sympathized when you're in peril.
If there are cameras, do you know where they are?
Last week.
Saturday, Friday?
Last Friday.
Last week.
Yep.
We worked those kids. At one point, you were like, okay, so I think we're ready for the cutoff. What did I turn around and say to you? I said, no, fuck, I want to shine them up even more.
Okay, tag you in. Let's go to work.
He started laughing. He was like,
let's go to work.
He was like, oh, I see where you're going. You're feeling good today.
Yeah, and
I was like, bro, I was like, fuck yeah, let's shine these kids up.
And if you're doing a good enough job to
we
getting
tore
the
the
crowd
house
behind
down,
you,
Darius.
man,
We tore the house down in match number 1.
I know you did. Who
the
you
promoter
telling?
said you guys were on first.
Who are you telling?
We said, we looked at each other, we went,
let's get them off the ground first. And look,
Dan Maff and/or Shawn Donavan in the opening spot of your card. You were getting fundamental. You were getting rudimentary. You are getting, hello, here's an introduction to this promotion that you're about to spend another 2 to 3 more hours at.
Right. And I I'm not saying young for don't put out highlight reels. Yes, you need to do that, but make your reels mean something, but don't wrestle and perform your matches for a reel, because you're doing your opponent a disservice. You're doing the promoter a disservice, doing the match a disservice. You're doing the promotion and that crowd a disservice. Show what you can do and then put that reel together, but show something different, right? What's one thing you don't see in any highlight reel? Selling. Show a promoter what you can do as far as selling. They don't need to see how many cutters, Canadian destroyers, whatever. Show them how you can sell, show them character, show them personality, show them why you need to be on that event because you're different. Don't show them what they've already seen from everybody else on their roster. That's how you make a difference to get on a show.
Yeah.
Be different. Don't be the same thing. I'm sorry on a rant.
No,
Same thing with
you're good.
gear. Guys, be different with your gear.
Yep.
Please. I'm so tired of seeing everybody wear the shorts with the kick pads and the knee pads. Be different.
Yeah.
Be a professional. Have a different look. Don't just wear a hoodie to the ring. Wear professional gear. Get professional gear. Look like a pro. Look like you care.
Look like you
That
care.
is etiquette to yourself.
Do
That
you want
is
this?
promotional work.
That's your brand, bro.
It's your
That's-
brand.
That's
It's
your
want it.
presentation.
Do you want it?
And upgrade your gear. Don't stay the same. Get it different.
When you go to a car dealer and you buy a car dealer
You buying the same
And
year,
you-
make, and model, color every year?
and you buy a car, are you gonna buy a car that the decals are all fucked up and lopsided and
Hey,
the
come
car
on.
got rust on and shit? You gonna buy that car?
Of course you're not.
If you
Doesn't
own a
make any
2015
sense.
Toyota Corolla, when you got a new car, when it's time for a new car, you're gonna go back and buy another 2015
Right.
Toyota Corolla?
Come on now.
Listen,
on,
not
now.
everybody can afford. You know what I mean? The Yukon, the Escalade, the whatever. You know what I mean? The Lexuses, all those cars, the Infinities. Not everybody can afford those. You know what I mean? But there is some sexy. You know what I mean?
You can find
There's
it.
sexy,
Mid-range price.
affordable deals out there,
Yeah,
right?
you can find it in between, and that's what this
Yes.
business is all about: is finding it in between, working with
There's
what
some
you have and
sexy
don't
front
have.
sizes out there. Hello.
Yeah. Listen, and that's what it means. And
Shout out to all my booties out there, all
Oh,
my female,
Jesus, here we
all
go.
my
Vicious.
female fans.
Vicious and delicious. Here's the thing: when you are working with somebody that is not on your level, when you are working with somebody that is not there, it is your position, your duty to take that person and to bring them to a higher point. There are too many guys that I see with the boo-boo face in the locker room.
Oh, here
where
we
they're-
go.
Yeah, because I wanted to get into this. People,
Please
and it's
do.
not just about
Please
wins
do.
and losses. It's not just about, oh, I'm losing this match, and you're just, the entire way of the locker room. And then that leads to you leaving early, because I lost this match, because I lost this championship match. No, but there's a lot of that going on right now. And I'm not saying, listen, it's not everywhere. There are people that have etiquette. There are people that we can sit here and have discussions with. But it is an issue that has been in the business since
For
the business
years.
hasn't existed. So I'm not just saying it's a recent issue. But what I'm saying is that it's been prevalent these days because there's no one particularly going out and saying don't do that. So here's that don't do that, which is where you don't come into the locker room or leave the locker room with boo-boo face. What is boo-boo face? Boo-boo face is, man...
I'm losing again.
Oh, I'm losing. Ah, man, I thought I was getting the belt this time.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm in the rumble. He's laughing because it's true. It is. I was in the rumble, man. Thought I was gonna make it all the way this time. I got eliminated. Man, I can't last like 10 minutes more. Like I'm in the tournament. I'm going out in the first. I'm going out in the first
My
round.
mom and dad are here.
I
gotta
brought
go
my
out and see them.
parents. But who told you
But
to
they're
bring
gonna
your parents? But seriously,
They're gonna
it's like-
fucking see you when you go home. What the fuck you gotta see
Right.
them? You're out in the fucking crowd to see them for.
It's my cousin. My cousin came. Like she never is
She
able to come
traveled
to a
all
show.
the way from Florida.
Right, she's never able to come to a show. I finally group messaged her. She finally answered, and then I get here and losing the first round of the tournament. Like, hey, Mr. Promoter, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, but this is what happens these days is people, and I see it, and I look, and because we see this, we sit in the
Yes,
corners,
we do.
and we see this, and we go, and we'll be in the middle of a conversation with someone else,
Yep.
and we'll hear this
Or we'll
accidentally.
No,
You
Darius,
won't see it.
body
no, Darius, you're
language.
here.
You're right.
And you look at me, I go,
And it's always like that.
He knows
The
that
vets are doing
sound.
that. Yeah, and I know it too. And I'll with me, I don't make a sound. I will look at you. I'm a very big eye contact, very good physical communication.
I know if you're looking at me with seriously, I know you're telling me without telling me to look at something.
I'm giving it Iggy.
Yeah, you're giving me.
I'm giving me office.
If you're looking at me like,
I'll give you the virtual office.
if you're looking at me with the Garfield face,
like,
I know
cat,
something's happening.
I'm like, I know you see, and all you have to do is just kind of turn your radar on, and it might. And you catch it quick every single time I put that look on, even if you don't know, you know.
Yeah.
And then there it is right there.
Yeah.
Here's the person that's talking about losing, man.
Right.
So this is my third time in the Bronx, and
I'm losing again.
I see more people coming, and I brought my friend. They brought signs, and I gotta lose.
I sold 12 tickets.
So
here's the
It was $25 a ticket, and I sold 12. So I don't think it's fair that I lose to this guy.
Here's the easy fix to that, right? And I've said this in previous episodes. Learn how to maximize your minutes, because if you do that and you show a promoter what you can do and you don't boo-boo face in time, you will be the guy on the come up, getting the 10 to 15 minute match, being the guy that goes in the Rumble first and last until the end. It takes time. Case in point. On a show with Danny, you know where I'm going with this probably. Years ago when I first came into said promotion, right? I was going to be in a good match that night. They came up to me and said, hey, we have an idea. We would trust you for this. Opening segment of the show. Would you go out there and do a bit with Wade Barrett? Absolutely.
Right.
His tail started.
First independent appearance turns out to be his only independent appearance. I went from being in a 10-minute match to a 3-minute segment. Mm-hmm. Maximize your minutes. It's a chance for me to do something different.
I love your T-shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
That's like some serious business right there.
Yeah.
Brody and Hanson.
Yeah.
Miracle
I like
Violence.
I'm expecting one for Christmas.
Yeah, it's
I was
an
just
old shirt.
watching
It's not
Brody.
available for sale anymore.
I was just watching Brody and
Yes.
Bockwinkel. Bockwinkel's a vicious
My
man.
point to that is when a promoter comes up to you with an idea, don't take it as negative. Say, okay, how can I make this the best segment possible? It was a chance for me to explore my character traits in a different way and get over with taking one bump as opposed to being in a 10-minute match, right? You don't see a lot of this on independent shows. You don't see a lot of segments.
You do not.
But if you get the opportunity to be given a microphone and get your character over, sometimes that means more than wrestling a 10-minute match.
110%. It's not about how much time you are given, because there are so many people that would get that 10-minute match and they would struggle. See, you and I and you may say to Wade Barrett in 3 minutes, oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people in the locker room would say, and let's address it. And they may say,
What am I supposed to do?
that's tough. On this side, I've got Wade, WWE guy, but that's only 3 minutes. On this side, I've got this local hot wrestler. I can do 10 minutes with him. If you're doing this with a guy that has been at the WWE or been at any of these top promotions in the world, the New Japan or all, and you're doing this, you're not seeing the weight, you don't feel the weight of that, then you're not understanding the business that you're in. This is business. Yes, and I just want to get that this is a business. And a lot of times people forget that it is a business. You do what you want to do. I wrestle the guy that I want to like because I know him and I know he does these certain types of moves and people are going to like that. No, it's a business. How do you advance yourself and ultimately your promotion? See, you got there with Wade Barrett, but they chose you because you would have been the best pick for Wade Barrett on that locker room.
Yes.
You were the guy that was chosen, and it was your responsibility, Shawn, to go with him and give not just Wade, but the promotion and that crowd the best possible segment you could with those 3 minutes. That's a gift to be chosen.
To start the show, right? We always talk about main spots on a show are always the first match before intermission, main event. I wasn't the first match, but I was chosen to do that segment to build the show. So, and I'll put this in young society social media terms. Am I going to get more views by wrestling a 10-minute match with a guy who has 1,000 followers on social media, or a guy who is fresh off of television with millions of followers, so that if he gets that footage and it gets out there, more eyes are on me than in that 1,000 views, right? How do I build my brand? How do I do business better? How do I sell myself in my previous work with the promoter to be chosen for that position, right? Sometimes it's not about you, right? Because people don't understand. What is that promoter paying for that talent to be on their show? So if you need somebody to go in there and enhance them, if they're choosing you, take that as, holy shit, they trust me out of anybody else on this show? Okay. What can I do to get myself over, to get that talent even further over, and build the show? That's etiquette. That's professionalism.
Just like you said, those two last words, etiquette and professionalism.
Correct.
2 weeks ago, we're in the Bronx. You're going through the lineup. Match 1, diggy, diggy, diggy. Match 2, diggy, diggy, diggy. Match 3, diggy, diggy, diggy. Match 4, diggy, diggy, diggy. Match 5, diggy, diggy, diggy. Match 6, Darius Carter, Savio Vega. I don't know what you guys want to do. Darius, what are you guys going to do? I don't even know why the hell you guys are asking me. Don't even ask me. Don't even look at me.
Pull the curtain back.
That's okay.
I speak to the man, but that,
Yes.
see what I mean?
Yeah.
Professionalism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Main event, right?
He ain't worried about himself.
Main event. You're in it.
I appreciate
have
that
to
you
be
remembered that. Yeah.
Involved, right? But the involvement is not necessarily about me. The involvement is about, how do you take the person getting fucked in that match and make them come out of that match bigger, stronger, better than before the bell even rang? That's your job.
Yes.
And my involvement of, how do we get this person here? Because the crowd's already here with them. How do we get him here for the next one? That's our job. That's etiquette, professionalism. If you're involved in a runner, it's not about you.
Right.
It's, what are you doing to enhance the guys in that match to make sure they come out higher? I've seen this where guys want to get their shit in on a run-in.
Oh my goodness.
Not about me. It's not. It's we talk about it. It's a business.
Yeah.
What are we doing to contribute so that the crowd grows for the next event? Because hopefully, if you do business the right way, we talk about what you want to be, a $4,400, $4,000 wrestler. If you help build the house further than when you got there, and the promoter recognizes it, guess what? Your envelope or your PayPal or your Venmo is going to be fatter.
Here goes the money. Let's shoot the money straight up the middle.
That's it.
There you go. That's your shining star.
That's
but
it.
in the
Build that house
meantime,
up.
that's just a smoke and mirror, because what we're really building is
Right.
this guy coming up right on your ass.
And can you? And
right
are you
behind
comfortable?
you.
And are you comfortable with being this person? Maybe not this person.
This is Jared Diaz.
Okay. And are you okay? And listen. And since we're really,
Let me be
since
that
we're-
guy.
Yeah. Since we're mapping it out, can you be comfortable being this
This is
person?
where a lot of you young people
Tell 'em.
who listen to this.
Tell them. Can you be comfortable? We're gonna put this. We're drawing this out, right?
Let's
Can
go.
Can you be comfortable with being this person, knowing that someone is on your back,
On your
knowing that-
ass.
knowing that this? Guess what you're supposed to do? Go ahead, Maff, and demonstrate what's supposed to happen.
But at the end of the
Because
day,
this person
at
is
the end of
going
the
to
day,
get moved.
at the end of the day, I'm that main menu. But there's only so much table left.
Right.
That's
But
the guy we feature.
Now, you see this? This is you. Does this, just because we're giving him that sense of peace, does that mean that you have to fade away and be obscure? Does that mean that you have to lose? Or can you orbit? Can you orbit around this person? Can you protect that person? Can
Because
you
in
make sure that this
reality,
person stays
it's all
there?
about this guy's struggle.
Yes. Can you make sure that this person stays there so that if someone else knocks them off or doesn't deliver the way that they need to, can you bounce back and keep them in the center?
That's what you young guys need to listen, man.
Can you look out for your person?
Let
And
the
I'm
OGs
passionate about
cook.
this. I'm passionate about this because a lot of times you're doing great for people and people don't see the great that you're doing for them. A lot of times we are
don't see
risking
the
our
long story.
oh, they don't see the long point. Man, I didn't get this move in. I didn't get that move in. Here's the etiquette of the business. I'm putting you in a position to keep you where you need to be. The move is secondary. Everything else, the bumps we take are secondary to the fact that I am putting you or elevating you or helping guide you to a position that you need to be in, and I've been entrusted to put you in that position. You may not see it because you're so focused on the moves of the match. You're focused on the type of match you're going to have with Darius Carter. Darius Carter is thinking, hey, this is how I get you. Show number 8. By show 9, I need you to be able to main event. The promoter told me he needs you to be able to main event. Maybe he didn't tell you that. Maybe he didn't tell you that, but he told me that. And it's my job to get you there.
This kid is special.
Yes.
He's special.
Yes, he is.
He's special. But you know what? That ain't good enough for me.
Nah.
I don't need him to be special. Because by the time me and him finish, I want him to have the keys to the fucking city.
Yep.
Bam.
Yep.
And, well, we got a chessboard out here, right? If you do business the right way, and I'll take this back to episode 6 of Leaving the Nest and Learning, right? Learning.
No, I loved it.
Take your main eventer away. Move the guy into this position that helped get you there, right? And I use this for me. Have I been a main eventer my whole career? No. Why? I'm confident in saying this. Why have I been around for so long? Every performer needs to learn how to be a utility player.
Correct.
Learn how to do anything and everything a promoter needs from you, and I guarantee you will be around in any facet for a long period of time. That means you can go out and be the main eventer. You can be the first match on the card. You can be the promo segment. You can be the second match. You can be the semi-main event. Hey, I don't have a spot for you today, but can you help backstage put stuff together? Hey, I know you're not booked on the show. Can you help with music? Sure. I have ideas of maybe how we can make this work. If you can be a utility player, and I don't mean that being pigeonholed, if you can learn how to do anything and everything on a show, you will always have a spot. I will take this back to main guys on TV, right? George South had a job for 30 fucking years on TV and never got jobbed out because he knew what he was doing, and guys like Ric Flair would give him 10 minutes on the Superstation to show what he can do. Brad Armstrong had a job for 30 years.
Let's talk about Brad Armstrong.
Through the territories, through the mid-90s, through the late 90s, because he knew his role and knew what he could do to help make other guys that were part of that puzzle bigger. Guys like Paul London have been around for years, making guys look better.
Bobby
Eaton was around for years.
Bobby.
Arn Anderson was. If Arn Anderson didn't have a career-ending injury, he would probably have worked well into the 2000s, making people better.
Tully with Magnum TA.
Yes. Be the utility player that you can do anything, because a promoter can plug you into any position they need. And if you are willing to do the work that is needed, you will always be booked. You will always have a prominent position, and promoters will always trust you because they know they can plug you into any area they need and you will get the job done. And guess what? Good promoters, you do business the right way, your envelope will always stay nice and thick.
And that takes us back to episode 6, the episode we had just talked about, which is leaving the coop, leaving the nest, flying, freeing, being free. How do you get out there? Because you've created these opportunities and built a resume for yourself that people know. Well, when they hear the name Darius Carter, boom, wow, they know what it is. When they hear Dan Maff and they hear Shawn Donavan, Oh, okay, I know what that is. That's old school, boom, boom, boom. I know I could plug you with this, and then I don't have to worry about that. And the best thing that you can be, if we're really talking about etiquette, the best thing that you can be in this business is somebody that a promoter does not have to worry about. It's like you mentioned too before. I pride myself on the promoter being able to say, I got it with you. The promoter may not even have to watch your match. They're running around everything else while they have to watch everyone else's to make sure something doesn't go wrong. They might be able to say, hey, I trust you on this. Okay, of course you want them to watch your match, but the promoter is dealing with everything at one time. He's dealing with the locker room, dealing with the camera crew, dealing with the announcers, the commentators, the special guests that are there signing autographs. This man has to watch everything. If the or this woman, if these promoters can look at you and say, wow, I don't have to worry about you. Hey, take this guy on. Take that guy on. Take this girl on. Have this match. Please, this person needs it. It is a blessing and an honor. Win, lose, or draw. It does not matter whose name is underlined, bolded, or italicized at the end of all of this. It is about what are you doing for your opponent? What are you doing for your show? What are you doing for your event? So that people can look at you and say, wow, he's a lot bigger than the sum of his parts. I got to get that person from my event because that person is cooking. Every time I go near that person, I smell good food. Every time I go near that person, I see a talent that's thriving. I pride myself on a talent elevating itself, improving itself from after being in contact with me.
Hold that right there. You just said before, ain't nobody doing shit until you learn how to be a good what?
A good worker.
A good utility.
Utility player.
Utility man, a good worker. Okay, I'm going to rattle off some facts for you. Hulk Hogan. Active? Not active.
Right.
Ricky Steamboat.
Not active.
Not active.
Ric Flair.
Right.
Not active.
Not active.
Right.
Okay, Kurt Angle.
Right.
Not active.
Right.
Great Muta. Not active. Dusty Rhodes. Okay. Not active. Well, you guys, not active. Okay. Macho Man Randy Savage. Not active. George South.
Active.
Ricky Morton.
Barry Horowitz.
Yeah.
Hold on. Barry Horowitz.
Still active here and there.
Active enough. He's active
Ricky
enough.
Morton.
Yeah, he did say Ricky Morton.
Ricky
Ricky Morton
Morton.
twice. Round one of the 2022 Super 8. Ricky Morton, I'll see you again.
Active. Now, whether or not the names you rattled off are active or not, they're still talked
Alive
about
or not.
to this day. I teach young guys how to be a babyface. Watch Ricky Morton. Watch Brad Armstrong. Two different styles, but knew
Brad
how
Armstrong,
to
so underrated.
Yeah, Brad Armstrong, utility. This is what I mean.
How to elevate.
This
my
man
goodness.
and myself had the honor of having the chance to work with the Rock and Roll Express.
Had the
I didn't
honor
get
to work
Robert,
with
but I
Haku.
had Ricky. Ooh.
We did not. We tore the house down before we locked up. At
That's
8
a
minutes.
shoot.
At 8 minutes. Tore the house down
Listen,
without a lockup still.
I'm jealous. Look, me and Savio too. I think of Savio. Hey, listen. Being in that ring, it felt like, man.
I was
Felt
so
like
jealous.
96.
I was jealous.
Man. Felt like 96, man.
I was jealous.
And this is the TV that I felt like I was. You want the truth? I felt like I was watching myself on that box, that TV box. You know that why we were
Click,
watching
click.
wrestling? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? But that volume would you turn that thing up? Man, I felt like I was watching myself performing for this man. Taking these, moving. And you know that fire, okay, there's red hot, there's blue hot, and then there's white hot.
Let me ask you something. When you saw the vest, you said, "Oh, this shit is real."
You
saw the vest.
with the flag on
It,
it.
it doesn't hit you till you see the vest, right?
That brings you back to
What are we talking about?
96.
We're talking about levels.
Yes.
I was hit on several levels. I wasn't just hit on one level. I wasn't just waiting to be hit once. I was hit several times, sir. Would you like the truth? I'll tell you the truth because that's what I do. It hit me when it hit me before he went out. It hit me when he came out. And then ding, ding, ding. All right? 3 times. And then 4 times when we first made contact. I said, look at this man. This is the same man, WrestleMania 12 against Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is the same man. This is the same man. This is the same man that has traveled down these roads, wrestled the people that I wrestled, I watched, I idolized, The Undertaker, Ric Flair, all those things. And you're telling me,
I'm laughing
no,
for
because
another
I know why because you know where we're getting to.
No, I'm laughing for another reason. I
smoothness.
ripped somebody. I said, hey, go introduce yourself to Savio Vega. The guy said, hi, my name is such and such and such. Savio went, I don't give a fuck.
I was there. I saw it.
Right. It was set up. It was set up.
But I know what you're saying,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because
it
the
was set up.
pressure is there, but you know the learning experience is going to be there, right?
It's an honor.
Yes.
Because look at that card.
lot
When we
of
looked at that
miles,
card,
bro.
when we looked at that card, there was a lot of clanging and banging, right? There was a lot of this, a lot of that, a lot of diving, a lot of jumping.
people sleep on
ladder
that
matches.
card, bro.
Oh, come on now. But you told me, but I was just like you were chosen for that 3-minute segment with Wade Barrett. My match with Savio Vega was no more than 5 minutes.
People sleep on that shit, though. People sleep on that whole entire card.
6 minutes.
That card was badass.
And to be put in that position.
Pete Rosado?
Oh, come on. Give him the flowers.
Pete.
Give him the
We are
flowers.
wrestling.
Give him the flowers. Fans went home more than
real.
happy. More than happy.
What that gentleman is doing in the Bronx.
Yep.
Okay. Listen,
And I beat Savio, too.
there's places in New York, okay? There's Warriors, there's House of Glory,
Yes.
there's We Are Wrestling.
Talk about it.
Listen, hey, Pete deserves his flowers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a very, very strong call. Listen, between having George South at that venue to then having Savio Vega, and we're talking about a handful of minutes in these matches, but we're talking about the art and how it's a breath of fresh air to the rest of the card. So you can go from Dan Maff and Jared Diaz, all right? You can go to Shawn Donavan, all right? And then to Anthony Gamble. And then you can go ahead and go to Darius Carter. And you can go to Savio Vega. And then you can have your tag team ladder match main event with Prolific and the Rep. This is giving something for everybody. This is giving a flavor of ice cream for everybody. Hey, you want to come to my ice cream store?
But you forgetting to mention that Jared Diaz went to school in that venue.
Sure did. And this is also a part of knowing where you wrestle. In the Bronx.
Yeah, and
right?
comes out to the Mets.
Come on.
The Mets entrance music.
Come on. Do you love it? Do you love
And
it?
this asshole wears a Dodgers shirt 6 days after they smoked the Yankees
Yeah.
in the World Series.
Yeah.
And that asshole too.
It comes to etiquette. It comes to art. It comes from taking pride in your craft and knowing. And all of us didn't get to those points with Savio, with Jared, without. I'll go back to episode 6. Branching out and leaving the nest, right?
For real. That
Same
learning
thing.
tree, brother.
When you are chosen to work with people that are on shows as a guest, working with Haku, legend in the industry, right?
Yeah, man.
It's a difference in saying hello in the locker room and then being in the ring and watching him walk down the aisle, knowing the history, knowing the stories. It's a difference of me being in a wrestling ring, doing a segment with a legend like Jake Roberts, who epitomized Ted DiBiase, to be chosen to work with these guys that I grew up idolizing, knowing that I'm not just chosen for that, I'm also going to learn from that as well. And then getting the feedback afterwards and not being afraid to say to those guys, what did I do right? What could I have done better? And finding a way to learn. That is also etiquette and issue. I know we're kind of wrapping up time, right? The biggest thing I will also say to young guys too, pick the brains of the people you work with that are more experienced than you to tell you as a flavor, not saying it's right or wrong, we all have different flavors of how we approach the industry. Pick their brains on their flavor of what they think you could have done better. Come to the table and try it next time. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. It's still a flavor that you learn, right? Our industry, it's a Dr. Tom phrase. It's all ice cream It's just different flavors. You might like cherry. You might like Rocky Road. I might like vanilla. We're all in this together, but if you don't show the right etiquette, you'll never get far in the industry because the guys in the locker room who police the locker rooms will sniff that shit out
quickly,
and you will be gone at the snap of a finger.
Yeah. Envelopes stop coming.
That's it.
Bookings stop coming. Come on, let's talk about it.
And we will be back next time. Episode 8. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you got some knowledge from this. Thank you, Darius.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Gorilla Dan Maff.
The 7 on episode 7.
We will be back with episode 8. We are cooking. We are smoking.
Cooking, good looking, and booking.
Enjoy your turkey.
And enjoy your holidays, people.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Better not be
Let's
dry
go,
turkey.
Jets.
Don't let that turkey be dry.
And guys, wash your asses.
No flies out the gear bag.
No, thank you.